to episode number 70 of my POA podcast, Black Hand and Beyond. We're here on another Tuesday night. This is actually already our fourth one for 2024. Haven't missed a Tuesday yet, knock on wood. I will eventually take some Tuesdays off when show season starts and different things and weather and who knows what. I'm the only one at the dealership right now with the winter, and things are a little slower right now. We've been closing down about 6:30, so usually we close at 7. So you may hear the cleaning crew coming in, knocking on the door, looking at me, but otherwise I'm all by myself at Jackson's Auto Family. I want to thank Jackson's. Here's our little come join the family. So they sponsor us every week. We also have a POA sponsor this week, the Golden Ticket. And Terry Thorson POAs is our sponsor this week. Terry's a big supporter of both these futurities. That's the topic of the episode tonight, the Breeders' Challenge futurity and the Select Sire futurity. So his young stallion, the Golden Ticket, along with his program, Terry Thorson POAs, is our sponsor tonight. So we will be talking more about both those about halfway through the show. We do have two special guests tonight. We have Charlie Phillips from Iowa, who's going to join us here in a minute, and then later on in the show, after we talk about the sponsor, we will be calling Lindsay Zom from Indiana and talking about the Select Sire futurity with her insights on that, with her involvement with the club, and she's also on the board of directors with me and on the futurity committee. So I want to thank everybody and congratulate everybody that's showing down at the Fort Worth Stock Show. That's a big tradition. We should have a show on that one of these years. That's a big tradition down there in POA, and they have added money, scholarships for the kids that go to that, and that's a really good thing for POAs. A lot of just promotion and stuff on spotlight on POA. So right now I'm going to bring in Mr. Charlie Phillips from Iowa. How you doing, Charlie?
Good, Kent. How are you?
I'm good, and you're the president of the BCF, right?
Yes, I am, Kent.
Which is the Breeders' Challenge for Charity. We already got people saying hello. Tracy says hello. A couple Facebook users. Dean might be one of them. I can never tell which one Dean Damon is because it's just Facebook user. So we already got people chiming in. So if you just tuned in or haven't been watching on Facebook, Charlie's going to be talking to us about the BCF, and then later the SSF. We'll be talking with Lindsay about that. Both of them are having upcoming stallion auctions here in February. If you haven't noticed, February is right around the corner. You probably can tell. Well, what's the temperature like up there in Iowa?
Well, it's been warming up. We had 24 inches of snow a week ago.
Wow.
and below 50 wind chills, and now it's 35 and raining today.
Oh, wow.
And the snow's really melting fast because the ground wasn't froze underneath. It was still warm, so it's been kind of a wild last 10 days here.
Well, we had some cold, what they say, below normal temps. We can have 50, 60 degree days in January in Oklahoma, and lately it's been in the 30s or lower. We had some teens and some almost zero. Wind chill was below zero, but the little bit of snow we got, the rain we got, just wiped it away. So it's brown and green again, a little green, but brown, of course. So, yeah. We got people watching from Australia. Gay English says hi from down under. Becky Victor Baker says hi from Iowa. So you got a fellow Iowan. I know Terry, our sponsor tonight, grew up with the Victor family. So you got a big event coming up, February, what's the date, 3rd?
February 3rd.
Okay.
And for anybody that's wanting to come up, it's supposed to be 50 that weekend in Iowa, so it's going to be a nice weekend.
That's one of the things I was going to ask you, and I was going to ask you before there because I was going to tell you if it's going to be nasty, let's not talk about the weather. But if it's going to be good, let's talk about it. Because that's a little ways off. That's not this Saturday, but it's the next Saturday, right? It's two Saturdays from now, so it's coming up. And you guys usually get kind of a who's who of the POA, especially the Midwest group up there. I've never been up there. I want to go. It's just a tough time to go for me this time of year because it's already slow. So they don't want us taking too many days off. It's kind of backwards. You think you could go whenever you want, but you kind of got to be here. So, but I know everybody I've talked to that's attended it. It's a really cool deal. Just visiting with POA people and getting ready for the upcoming full. So just kind of for people that are kind of new to this, and especially if they're newer to breeding and stuff, kind of explain how the Breeders' Challenge Futurity works, that stallion auction right now we'll talk about mainly.
Okay, well, our stallion auction, The starting bid on the stallions is $300 or half the advertised fee of the stallion. Anything that we say that night is what goes. There might be something in the catalog that's wrong, but it is a slot futurity. So that means that the person that donates the stallion service and whoever buys it, those are the only two mares that are eligible to have foals out of that horse show that following year. It was started by Orland Stoley and Larry Meyer and Lowell Roseland were kind of the founders of it and got it up and going. I believe this is going to be the 16th year for it. We've really grown. We sold last year a little over $27,000 worth of stallions, and we paid out $1,500 to win for your weanling colts and fillies. So that's a pretty good payout. After the weanling year, Kent, any mare that was bred to that stallion is eligible to show as a yearling and a 2-year-old.
Okay.
And instead of just $50 per class, it's $100 per class for those mares that were not, the stallion was not bought for that mare.
Okay.
So it's after the first year, then it's kind of like the select sire. Anybody can enter as long as that stallion sold that year.
Right. Okay. But the incentive is those two mares are the only two mares eligible, right? So, right?
Yeah. Those two mares are the only two eligible as a weanling.
Right. So that's what makes the BCF so unique and different from a lot of other futurities, from any futurity in the POA breed that I know of that sets it apart. So the stallion auction is very important because if you don't buy that stallion, you don't get your mare in it, or if your stallion doesn't get purchased, right? So that's what makes it so unique. And
that's correct.
Yeah, that's why February 3rd is a big date. Now you guys do wireless, electronic bidding or phone bidding or?
Yep, we do phone bidding.
Okay.
And we'll get some phone numbers out there for people to contact.
Right.
Here, have those out there the week before.
And you guys always put out a nice catalog. I know Tammy does, and she's been busy putting out the POA magazine got backed up on her, no fault of her own, because of the show and different things. So that pushed her back a little bit. So I know she just sent the catalog for you guys for the BCF to the webmaster or whatever you call it. So that'll be popping up pretty quick.
I'm hoping it's up there within the next day or two.
Right. Now, another unique thing is, like, if you tune into that or to look at it, and there's 40-some stallions or 45 or 50, just remember that the BCF adds, there's not a deadline as far as stallions. They can add right up to that event. So
you can add stallions up until March 3rd at 6 o'clock.
March 3rd.
If you have a stallion, yes. And if you have a stallion that you
Or February 3rd, you mean.
Or February 3rd, excuse me.
Right.
February 3rd. And if you have a stallion that you want me to call somebody about to see if we can get it in there, you can reach me at 641-203-2509 or message me on Facebook, and I'll reach out to that individual.
Right. If you guys didn't catch that number, just almost everybody has me on Facebook, but most of you probably have Charlie on Messenger too and Facebook. Just contact me or him. I'm not involved in it. I'm just saying if you can't get a hold of Charlie direct, don't worry. We'll get a hold of him. So we'll pin you down. One of the things I think, even though this futurity, 14 years is a long time, I remember when it started, Larry called me right away. He was getting people involved. And anyway, the lasting legacy of this futurity has been bringing stallions in that maybe wouldn't have been a part of the POA, breed quarter horse and Appaloosa horse stallions, and more exposure for POA stallions too, but definitely has brought in some cool name stallions and just stallions that we probably wouldn't have had the opportunity to see their foals in the breed, don't you think?
Oh yeah, like the last couple of years, we've had horses from Terry Bradshaw's. We've had Such an Ego into it. We've had this year Stolen Identity is another app horse that's coming back. He was in it before.
Right, I remember him. Yeah.
High Rise Star, that was an app horse that we got last year.
Okay.
We get and there's a lot of good quarter horses in there.
Right, there is.
It's.
So that's what helped. It's helped the breed a lot that way. Just that part of it,
Yeah, it's improving the breed. Jackie, she sold an Intuit baby that she bred for the BCF, and I believe they're standing him. It's down south somewhere. I don't know what state, but they are standing him. Maybe
It's Florida.
I don't think it's Florida. Is
I
it
think
Florida?
it is
Okay.
Florida. Yeah.
I think it is too, but I didn't want to say for sure. But
Right. Tracy
but
will be saying any minute, but yeah.
he's a nice looking little few spot horse now.
Right. I could show a picture of him because he's in the select sire on their website. So on the home website. So there's a picture of him. He's still pretty young, so it's a young picture. But yep, he's got the pedigree too. Jackie also bred to Stolen Identity, I believe, way back in the day. I think she did. So
yeah, we bred to Stolen Identity. We raised one out of Stolen Identity. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So besides just the futurity itself, where you go win money and have fun, in September. Lately, it's been connected with the select sire. You got this other impact. So you have the fun of this futurity, getting to meet people and your friends and stuff, and then bidding on stallions, and then the impact of bringing those stallions and people in, the owners of those stallions, getting them exposed to POAs, and then you have the futurity itself, what it's all about. So, is that going to be in Gordyville again, the futurity?
Yes, I believe so. It's in Gordyville again this year.
Okay, in conjunction basically with the select sire. So.
Yeah, and I just want to say real quick while I'm on here that I just appreciate the board of the POA and everybody letting us have that show with their show. I know that the futurity is their thing, but the Breeders' Challenge and the International Futurity complement one another because you have all those good ponies there, and the people have a chance to win a lot of money.
Right.
And I think that's a huge draw that helps both of us.
And I hadn't been at the futurity live in many, many years. And it was 17 last time I went, but then I'd missed a few years. And this year I heard people, you hear things in the aisleway, or people come up to you and tell you stuff. And people that pull from a little ways away, it also gives them an extra incentive to come for two futurities. It'd be financially tough to come. Now there's no sale, so you're just basically showing at a futurity. So at least you have a chance to win money, but you have a chance to double dip, And just like Terry, who's our sponsor tonight, his filly was reserve in both futurities. So, that was kind of cool that he was in both futurities and she did well, in both. So that helps. And I know people, there's people that pull a long ways, both east and west, so when you're in the middle kind of there in Illinois. So how many people usually come to the casino or wherever you have it? I know this year pronounce that town for me again, or that casino name.
Meskwaki Casino in Tama, Iowa.
Yeah, Meskwaki Casino in Tama, Iowa. So and how many POA people are usually there in person? Quite a few, right?
Usually around 40. I mean, we've had years where it's been a lot more than that, but it's usually a pretty good turnout.
Yeah, I want to go there one of these years. It wouldn't be too bad for me, but if it got stuck in the bad weather, but I think I could make it, So from Oklahoma, I'm in northern Oklahoma, so I just have to get through Kansas and half a part of Iowa. So
last year we didn't have quite as many, and it was a good thing because the internet wasn't working at the casino we were at last year, and we all had to move into Jess Drish's room that she had upstairs, and we're all packed in there.
Okay.
It was tight quarters, but I think everybody still had a good time. I mean, it was a lot of fun,
Probably a better time, yeah. So this year you moved back to a casino you'd been before, and everything's probably going to be working good there.
We moved back to Meskwaki this year.
Yeah. That's going to be in my trivia next week, maybe. What's the name of the casino that the BCF futurity is going to be held at? We'll see who's paying attention tonight. So Melissa Andring's on here. Of course, she's from Minnesota. We will have it on the big screen at our house, she said. Okay. So she's going to have it on the big screen.
They've come down before.
Right.
They've come down to it.
Yeah. And Tracy said it's on her bucket list to come up to it. So, of course, that's a little further away from Florida. So,
if it plays out like they're saying, going to be 50, this is the year Tracy should come.
Yeah, she might have to make some last minute plans, but get some people together. Yeah, get some Florida people together and travel up. So yeah, you guys are right ahead of the convention. The convention's the 16th. So.
Yeah, I think they've pretty much been doing that first Saturday in February ever since it started.
Yep.
Or ever since I've been going, and I've been going for, I believe this is our 12th year that I have been going to the auction.
Okay. So almost from the beginning, from the early on. I do remember when they were getting it together, and I was pretty good friends with Larry Myers, and he called me, and I was just kind of phasing out right at the time, so I wasn't, he wanted me to kind of be on the board and do things. I just got off the POA board, and I said, well, I just had my fill of board for a while, so I didn't do it. But if I would have been really active like I had been just a few years earlier, I probably would have did it. But I knew it was going to take off because of the deal where it is a limited futurity, and it's cool. And you see the quality. That's kind of cool, too, that some of the babies are in the select and some are in the BCF, some are in both, but you'll see some that's not because of the stallion wasn't eligible or whatever, so that's cool to see at the show, too. So, and you just got a bunch of judges, more judges to look at your foals in the same pen. That's.
Yep, we have 3 separate judges come in and judges a halter. We do our lunge line and stuff. We do use the internationals judges. It's just simpler to have our judges come in for one day and judge the 4 classes. And
right, that makes sense. Yeah, but at least you got a different look there. You have a whole different set of judges. So, we found out one of the reasons Melissa came in person. She said hubby likes to gamble at the casino, so I like the bid on stallions. It's a win-win for us. Yeah, you both can win money. So if she buys a stallion, her baby might win some money in the futurity, and he might win some at the slots. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But like I said earlier, I can't thank the POA board enough for letting us go in there with them and do this show. I mean, like I said, I think it really, they go hand in hand. Like you said, when people are hauling in, it's great to be able to, you can get an awful big purse. I mean,
right.
Gardeners have come back and taken a lot of money home from the Breeders' Challenge and the Select Sire, that helps them. That's a long drive for them. And Tracy down there in Florida.
Right. And she just said we appreciate the different judges. Like I say, when you're driving all the way from Florida or even Maryland or Utah, California, and you just see 3 judges, well, then when you get to see 6 judges, if you're in both futurities, that just makes it that much more special, that you get that many more opinions on your babies. So, yeah, that's one of the things I think is a cool draw about it too. They just complement each other. They work together so well. So hopefully we can keep that going for quite a while. So
one other thing I wanted to touch on real quick was so if you take a weanling and you show your weanling, then you bring it back and show it as a yearling, or you sell it and that person brings it back and shows it a yearling, and then you bring it back as a 2-year-old riding. We also have the Super Pony Award, which if that horse or that pony has been there all 3 years and has done good enough, you can win an extra $500
okay,
on top of what the class pays out. And this year the riding class is going to be, we retain money back out of the sold stallions every year. This year that riding class money is going to be it's going to be up there.
Good.
I don't know exactly for sure what it's going to be, but it's going to be, I think last year it paid out like $800
okay,
for the riding class. So
and it'll probably be higher this year.
Yep.
Yeah. It's worthwhile for sure. And plus just that Super Pony title, it's always cool to get titles on your ponies if you try to sell them or market them, if you're going to breed them or whatever, so that's just another title to add to throw in the mix. So that's cool. Well, I'm glad you mentioned that.
And I want to say too that I appreciate everyone that has a stallion that has put it in the BCF, because without the stallion owners, we wouldn't be doing what we're doing today.
Right. Well, I know some years you guys have had close to 80 stallions. I mean, I've looked at the catalog, 70s for sure. Because it's just it takes a while to go through that.
Yeah, we had over 70 last year.
Right. So that's cool to see all those stallions, and it's good advertising for those people to be in there. So most of them have pictures, if not all of them. So yeah, be looking for that. So where will, I'm putting you on the spot a little bit. Once a show, I got to put somebody on the spot. Where will that be once the catalog's up? Will it be on the website or Facebook?
It'll be on the website, and then Tammy usually gets it on the Facebook also.
Okay.
So and there is two POA Breeders' Challenge Facebook, so you need to look on both of them. It should be on both of them. One of those Facebook pages, people can comment and post things, and the other one, they can't.
Okay.
So it should get put on both of those.
Okay.
But just so you know that that's out there, and we're going to try to work on getting that down to where it's just one.
Okay. And then I was clicking on, there's a website too that I got pulled up. You can go check all that stuff out so that you guys are ready when it does pop up there. It's for me, not even, I don't even have something in the futurity, but just looking at all the stallions, I take like an hour or so just going through the catalog. I still call it a catalog even though it's online, but just reading about, because you see some of the older stallions still in there and some of the horse stallions and then the up and coming young POA stallions that are in there. And it's a good way to keep track. That's where that stallion went, so it's cool. So you have several different ways to bid. You can go in person, which would be the funnest, to go in person, hang out at the casino, or you can call in, or I guess internet or whatever. You guys will be talking about that. So.
Yep, we'll do call-in bids, and then anything that doesn't sell that night is available for the 300 or the half of the advertised breeding fee.
Okay. But a lot of them go. I know you guys have some cool, bidding wars on some of those because it is a select opportunity. So it's fun to watch that too. So you want to make sure.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't buy it, the breeding there, you don't get in the BCF. I mean, for that weanling.
Right. Once it's sold, you don't get to. If you bred your stallion, if you go breed your mare to that stallion and you didn't do that, you don't get to show in the BCF just because the stallion's in there. You had to be one of those that night. So, or like you said, after you have a little while after to buy the stud fee, but you have to buy the stud fee. So through that's cool. Again, that's what makes that's what those guys, the founding fathers of the BCF, had in mind, was an opportunity, futurity, and a true challenge. So. Well, you got anything else to add, Charlie?
No, I don't think so. I think that's about it.
Okay, I'm not trying to run you off here or anything, but I just wanted to, and I want to tell everybody again, please just keep checking for the catalog. And Tammy already mentioned that it went to the web person and everything, so they'll let you know. You'll see it on Facebook, the POA owners and all that. You'll see it on there when they'll say, okay, it's up and ready. So, POA's word travels fast. Within minutes of it being up, people will be in trouble at work because they'll be scrolling through the catalog. But hey, just do it. Have that little button on the side, where you can pop something up, another screen or whatever. I always have another screen ready, especially like when the show's going. When Terry Bradshaw had his sale, I had two screens up, and one was just on that, and I had to keep the sound down because customers kept looking over at me because the chanting was going a little loud. So once I forgot it, I went outside, and I was gone for about 20 minutes. I come back in, and somebody said, "There's something wrong with your computer. It's squawking over there." And I laughed, so. All right, Charlie. Well, thanks for coming on and plugging a good thing, the Breeders' Challenge for Charity, or as everybody knows it, the BCF, and representing it as the president. I'm glad you're still the president. I know sometimes it gets hard, doing things and volunteering, but I'm glad you're staying on there. So.
Well, thanks for having me, and make sure you tell Miss Monica hi for me.
I will. Tell your family hi, too. And Stella says hi to everybody, so you guys got to see that whole thing go down. So your wife's one of the people I'm still mad at because she was in on that deal.
Well, don't feel bad because she got a new one for Christmas, too. So.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Well, we're done for a while, so yeah, but Stella's getting big. You'll see her this year somewhere, so.
Sounds good, bud. Well, you have a wonderful evening.
Okay, thanks, Charlie.
See ya.
See ya, bye. All right, that was Charlie Phillips, the president of the Breeders' Challenge for Charity. That is held in Gordyville, Illinois, in conjunction with the Select Sire Futurity, the National POAC Futurity. This Futurity started about in 2008, as he mentioned, and it just keeps getting stronger. Like I said, the legacy, besides just having the Futurity, just the stallion auction and bringing in different stallions and a select opportunity to buy a stallion, purchase a stallion, and then having your mare and that other mare, the stallion owner's mare, the one's available. That's the cool thing about it. So that is pretty neat. So we're going to talk about the Select Sire for Charity in a minute, but I want to talk about our sponsor. This is going to be a little quicker show tonight. It's not going to be 4 hours long like the Stallion Roster show, and I'm sure you guys like that. So you can sit down and watch this with just one bowl of popcorn, not 2 or 3. You don't need to order a pizza for this podcast. You can if you want. But so I'd like to talk about our sponsor tonight, which is the Golden Ticket, a young POA stallion who is owned by Terry Thorson POAs, again up there in Iowa. The Golden Ticket has a great pedigree. He's an own son of pal Casey Jones, who's a 2-time National Congress Grand Champion stallion. As a few spot, that's even a tougher feat. You guys have all watched the Congress either online or been there in person, even back when it was the international show. Repeating as a grand champion is tough, but doing it as a breeding color, as a homozygous, is even tougher. So there's just been a handful of few spot stallions win it over the years, and the grandsire to pal Casey Jones was one of them. Tough plotted. He won it once, and then Casey Jones did it twice. Then the dam of this stallion is Cochita Hawks Respect. She's on a very, very short list of influential mares in the last 10, 20 years for sure. She's right up at the top. Box of Chocolate's one of her foals. She's got other foals that have won stuff. Her foals are in demand as soon as they hit the ground. And Terry was lucky enough to get this young stallion from Seehafers up there in Wisconsin. Seehafers Performance horses foaled out this colt, and he is a Palomino few spot too, so that's pretty cool. He's a 2021 model. He is going to be standing at the Iowa Equine DVM in Huxley, Iowa, and this is very important. He's just going to be there from March 15th to May 15th, because Terry has his own mares he wants to breed, so he'll be available at the Iowa Equine DVM in Huxley, Iowa from March 15th to May 15th, and then he will not be available after that. Terry's going to be breeding his own mares, so he don't want to breed outside mares. So shipped semen only, he'll be available from, again, March to May the 15th, March 15th to May 15th, at a good facility there in Huxley, Iowa. So, of course, he was a reserve champion as a yearling at the Congress. He was also a reserve high point that year. He is 6-panel negative. He's LP. Of course, he's a few spot. 4 mares and foal to him. And Terry's also a sponsor tonight, just not his young stallion. And Terry's got some great mares. You know, he was influenced by the Victor family. And we got a cool picture here. His first POA he got, I won't say the year, but that's him at the halter, and that's his brother up on this mare. And this is 4K's Panda Bear. And she really ignited Terry's passion for POAs. That's his own words too. And he always loved POAs, and he kind of grew up around the Victor kids, and Howard and Wanda treated him like one of their own. So he always wanted to be involved in POAs, and now he's got a great breeding program up there in Iowa. If you've been to the Congress or the Futurity the last couple of years, he's done well at both events, especially the Futurity this year. This mare here was a junior champion at the Congress 2 years ago. This is dealer's Ginger Snap. She's a beautiful mare. She's by his senior stallion, of course, his Dirty Dealer. And one of his foundation mares is Santee Delilah. She of course, came from Gene Carr, Santee program. Bob Roseland, the great breeder up there in Iowa, had her, and then she went to, I believe he had her, and then she went to, to Lynn Puffenbarger's, and then Terry was lucky enough to get her with some other mares. So when I say that the Golden Ticket's bred to 4 of Terry's mares, you want to contact Terry about those crosses and look up the pedigrees, because he doesn't have bad pedigrees or bad looking mares. So Ginger Snap's little sister there is making a name for herself. Of course, that's dealers Tell You What. And that's Sammy Bruns. Terry gets his horses shown well. Sammy's one of the people, her Bruns Performance horses, again there in Iowa, does a great job fitting and conditioning and showing. And if you've seen that filly in person, again, she was the reserve champion at the Select Sire and the Breeders' Challenge. So talk about a tough feat for both of those futurities. I think all 6 judges liked her a lot, so that's saying something. And, of course, she was also a reserve champion at the Iowa POAC futurity. So these are full sisters. I think you're going to see both of them. I know Sammy's probably going to show this yearling down the road. Dealers tell you what, so this is just the indication of stuff that comes from Terry's program, and now he's got his young stallion here. This is him as a yearling. This dude's gonna have a lot of body. Terry said he's really looking good out at the home place there, and he may show him again someday. He may just use him for a breeding stallion. When you're a Palomino few spot, you have the opportunity, and you're built like that in that pedigree, you have the opportunity to sire some POA babies. So he's going to do it. Again, there's the information on the screen, actually the phone number and everything for the Iowa Equine DVM in Huxley, Iowa, March 15th through May 15th of this year. Fee is $550 plus shipping. Ship semen only to approved mares. Contact Terry for any questions, and his phone number is right there for questions about the stallion, questions about the contract and the breeding that way. Contact Iowa Equine, and their phone numbers there too. So you got two contacts there. Of course, if you information about the stallion, contact the owner, which is Terry Thorson. So Terry Thorson POAs and the Golden Ticket is our sponsor tonight. If you'd like to be a sponsor on my POA podcast, Black Hand and Beyond, just contact me. It's really simple to do. It's $50 to do what I just did there, plus you get on Facebook. And Terry, we just did this earlier this week, so he wasn't on there for a week. Sometimes you're on there for a whole week, or if there's not a show beforehand, you might even be on there longer. So sometimes you have a great opportunity for a lot of advertisement, and then it stays on there. And of course, these live shows are... Just lost my live feed, Monica said. Okay, it shows I'm still going here. So hopefully you guys can still see me, because it says I've been going 33 minutes. But anyway, I was just going to talk about the National Congress and the sponsorships. My wife took that on this year, so she is doing that. So you need to contact her or the home office if you want to sponsor a class. We need a lot. And if you want to sponsor a Congress class, please contact Monica or the POAC. If you want stall, end cap, please contact them too. You need to get those in as soon as you can. First come, first serve. So, okay, I'm going to give Lindsay a call, and hopefully we're still going live. So she says it keeps cutting in and out. I don't know what's going on. Well, just hang with us, everybody. I don't know why it's doing that. But again, when you do live like this, it happens. I had some people tell me it wasn't very professional doing it live, but you know what? I think it makes it more unique. So I wouldn't want to be just sitting here in a box all week recording these, and then I sound like I'm all in a stuffed shirt talking about POAs. I want it to be fluid and live. So, okay, Lindsay, I'm giving you a call right now.
Hi, this is Lindsay.
Hey, Lindsay, how are you doing?
Good, how have you been?
Good. You're live, so you don't have the opportunity to talk to me before the show. You're live on the air right now, so, but I knew you'd be prepared, so.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it's cuts in and out, I guess. We haven't had that problem in a while, but my wife texted me and said that it cut out, and then Tracy said it cut out. But right now it's scrolling live, so we might want to get going and talk about the futurity as fast as we can in case it cuts out. But anyway, we just talked to Charlie about the BCF. I don't know if you were watching or not, but
I was, yes.
Okay.
Yep, I'm on that board as well.
You're on that board as well. Yeah. I want to talk about that real quick. So you're a board of director, and then you're on the board of the Breeders' Challenge, and then you work in the office, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, part-time or what, maybe it don't feel like part-time. I don't know how many hours, but you do a lot. I know without you in there, we wouldn't get a lot of stuff done. So.
Yeah, I do a lot remote, and then I go in once a week or more if I need to, so.
Right.
Yeah.
And then it's invaluable when we have a board meeting that you can tell us things, you know what I mean? Because some stuff that's going on, like if something's gotten mailed out or if something needs taken care of, that. So my wife just said she's a busy woman. Yeah, see, Monica, you thought you were busy just doing the Congress sponsorships. Look at everything everything Lindsay has to do. So, all right, we're going to talk about the auction because the select sires start. When did they start an auction? Was it last year or 2 years ago or?
Yeah, we started our live auction last year. And kind of mirrored it similar to the BCF.
Right.
We go live on Facebook, so they can join that way. We don't accept the live bids over Facebook, but we do phone-in bid forms, and then we still do the traditional sealed bid that needs to be stamped by February 1st if they would like to go with that option.
Okay. All right. Yeah, because that's what it's been since '82 or when it started. Well, the first show was '82, so it would have been '81 when they were bidding on Stallions. So mail it in and stuff like that. But now we're trying this auction. So that'll be Friday, February 16th at the home office in Indianapolis, right?
Yes, and that would be 7 p.m. Eastern time.
Okay.
We will start that.
Okay. So are you, is it 8:08 your time right now?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes,
so you're an hour. You're on Eastern time. Yep. So I'm in Oklahoma here. I'm on Central Standard Time. So I always mention that. So.
Right. Yeah.
I was gonna have you first. That'd be earlier, and I'm like, well, I don't want to confuse people. The Breeders' Challenge auction is first, so I'm gonna have Charlie first, and then Lindsay come on second because that auction is 2 weeks later. So. I think it is cool that it's going to be at the home office too.
Yeah, it'll be interesting on the turnout. So we'll be very close quarters, I think.
Right, but hey,
it'll be fun.
Yeah, that's fine.
Everybody's attention.
Everybody likes to talk to each other anyway. So I hope it's standing room only. The office isn't real huge, but it beats renting a hall, and we're saving money there. So. Somebody just said hi, guys, and Jerry said hi, Kent. So we have a lot of people watching, as you've probably seen. We've had a lot of comments already tonight, 52 comments. I think 50 of those are Tracy. No, I'm just kidding, Tracy. Sorry. I got to give her. Only 30 of them are hers. Melissa's been talking.
She's an overachiever.
She's an overachiever, yeah. Well, she loves POA. She's passionate about that. If we didn't have the passionate people,
she is.
So. All right, so I got the POAC official website up. Is that this year's list of stallions that are on there?
That is this year's list. Currently, we have 65 stallions. 60 of them are POAs. We have 3 apps and 2 quarter horses.
Wow, that's cool.
We still will accept late nominations. There is a fee to go with that, but we can always put the stallions in and make them eligible.
Okay. Well, since I got you on, I'll say there's Chocolatey. You got to get something for being on the show, so I'll just plug him. But I'm just scrolling through here. You can see, I seen earlier there's only one Doc stallion left. Doc's Rough and Zip, and most of them have pictures. Some don't. I know people have been asking about updating pictures. So,
Yeah, if anybody's listening and have current pictures, they can email them to the show department, and I will get them uploaded. And sometimes when you click on them, there's pictures once you click on them, and they don't show up in the smaller side.
Okay, right. There's JBJ's getting into it, and the only reason I mention him is because we talked about him earlier in the show. Charlie talked about him because his sire was in the BCF, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is kind of cool too. I bet there's some people watching tonight that didn't realize this is on one of the resources here on the POAC website. You have all these pictures, and you can click details, to go to details. So let's see, let's just go back up. Here's JBJ's chocolate zipper. So we'll click details, and that takes you to this screen here. It gives you the registration number, and it just gives you all this information, what he is, what color he is, his height, and stuff like that. So, and that's available on all these, the details are. So there's more details on some than others if they wasn't if it wasn't provided. But
right, and that would give you a live cover versus shipped semen, or if they put any additional notes, those can always be found. And we always strongly suggest reaching out to those stallion owners ahead of time to make sure that you're aware of any additional fees or what their breeding practices are.
I'm going to go back to that's right. And that's a good thing, too, that you see that and you're aware of that. I'm going to go back to the K's because Gay English from Australia just mentioned, she goes, OMG, KS is handsome as Bond. Unfortunately, there's not a picture of him, but because they have a horse, they have the 007 horses in Australia, so I believe, right?
Sure.
Yeah. So there he is. There's not a picture of him, but you can click on that to find out details, Gay, if you go to the website. So let me go up here so I can show people how to do this, because again, I think this is a cool resource. So you go to the home, of course, you just go to the website and then resources, and so it's up here, directories. So you go to the resources, and then right there, stallions available for purchase, select sire futurity. So that's cool right there. And
Yeah.
we never had that years ago. Of course, technology is a lot better, and we did have the magazine more often, so you could see the list, but it still didn't give you all the information that we can supply here just right in a little box, and it didn't give you a picture. The pictures were in there once a year. They used to be, but this way you can anytime during the day just go on and click and find out about somebody. So, and there's young stallions on here and older stallions. Like you said, there's some Appaloosas and a few quarter horses. I'm surprised there's only, what'd you say, 2 quarter horses?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
There's only 2.
Yeah, that's surprising.
We do have like 13 that were not on the list last year, so that's exciting to have some new ones on there, and some that aren't in the BCF, and that goes both ways.
Right.
So.
And I think it's almost a positive. I ain't saying that it's a negative that there's only 2. It's kind of cool that there's so many homebred POA stallions on here. There's a lot of POA stallions on here. Again, like I say, there's some famous names on here, some champions, and there's some up and comers, and some maybe people don't know that much about, but they've been doing it for their owners, and people just don't know about it sometimes. And so again, yep, use that. And so do they have to do anything special to get ready for this auction on February 16th?
As far as no, because we just use the information they provided, and then we do a PowerPoint, to go with each stallion, and when we're auctioning them off, we do a random lot numbers.
Okay.
So those will be released here probably next week or so, to kind of know where they are in the lineup,
right.
So that way they're not always the same ones that sell first.
So it's not alphabetical like it is here. This is just for reference here, but for fairness, they're basically drawn in a
right.
random
Yeah.
order.
Yeah, we put them into a random.
Okay, so that's cool to know.
And then once they're sold or purchased, then we'll go through and update that list and put after their name, it'll say purchased, and then when you click on it, it'll also say purchased and by who.
Okay.
After the auction.
Okay. And the select sire futurity and the international futurity, it's been going strong. I mean, it seems like it's kind of one of those things to me. It's, it did take a little dip with the economy, but it's almost economy proof. I mean, people still come to that futurity and they buy the stallions and they show their babies. And I know some years there was 50 some babies in there, but that's the whole industry was bigger at the time.
Right. Yeah, I think last year we had 27 and 29, or 27 colts and 29 fillies.
Yeah,
and more than that paid up, but that many showed, which I remember a couple of years ago we had 6 fillies in the class, and that was very small.
You're right. Well, there was a lot of stuff going on in the world, which there is now too. But the economy dictates a lot of that. So that's why I said even last year for almost 30 in each, and for that many to be nominated and then paid up and then show, because a baby can get hurt getting in a trailer. You know what I mean? Or it can just go over height, or you don't think the color's there or whatever. So there's so many things with this when you only have one opportunity. It's not like going to a regular show where you can just take whatever. You got to take the one that's eligible. So that's why these futurities are so interesting. So.
Right. Yeah.
What's Tracy saying here? My most treasured possessions are my select sire futurity trophies. Well, that's cool. So we've had 60 some comments now, Lindsay. So you're holding up your end of the game. So that's good. So, and we're getting comments from all over the world, since we're getting comments from Australia. So I'm retiring to the USA, closer to the POA action. Gay said that, so that's come on. I'm thinking about retiring to Australia, so no, I'm just kidding. I probably couldn't afford that. So anything else you want to add? We barely scratched the surface, really, but tonight was mainly about the auction and letting people know there is an auction again, and it's going to be at the home office. It wasn't supposed to be about the history of the Select Sire or even the event itself, the show itself, which is in September, but just mainly
Sure.
about the coming up in February here. It's right around the corner, literally. I mean, today's what, the 23rd, so we're just a few weeks away. So I
Yes.
just think it's cool if people would come to the home office when you can. Why the convention's in Indianapolis? Because I know it'll move again. It always does, So,
I guess one thing I would like to say that most people don't realize, especially if they're newer to the breed, is about the incentive money from the stallion sold, and a portion of the $5 from each mare nomination goes into that incentive pot that gets paid out from their yearling to 5-year-old year.
okay.
And a lot of new members don't realize that and don't know when we're talking about incentive money that gets paid out as long as, the foal was nominated
Okay.
in dam or
Right.
as the weanling.
So I like that incentive too. I remember when that was created, just to give people more incentive to come back, so it wasn't just a big baby futurity, a big baby jackpot, and then you never seen them again. And I think POA is doing a good job of bringing them back, and showing, and then getting them under saddle. And lunge lines helped that a lot. You got to remember we didn't have lunge line a long time ago. So we just had halter,
Right.
and then now you have the in-hand trail and a lot more stuff for yearlings, and then of course the riding them. So let's see. I'm trying to
Yep.
read while I'm talking to you too. That's why I'm sounding like an idiot a little bit. But Melissa Andring said there is a phone-in bid form. I've got mine in. Might have to add some names. So yeah, she's talking about the phone-in bid form. Is that for
Yes.
the select? Yeah.
Yes. And then under the events, the convention tab, under events on the national website, that phone-in bid form and the sealed bid form are both located at the bottom of the banquet events page.
Okay, so we're going to events, and then we go to international futurity, or go to convention.
Convention.
Yeah, national convention. So okay, and then there it is, right there. So select sire phone-in bid form. It's the third one on there. So I just clicked. I could click on it if I wanted to, but so there it is. So thanks for mentioning that, Melissa, and thanks for telling me how to get to it, Lindsay. So
Sure.
this is an informational podcast tonight. So we're going cruising around the POAC website.
We didn't hit on the Stallion fees or anything, but we're very similar to the BCF. It's $300 minimum, or half of whatever their advertised breeding fee.
Right.
So
Okay, that's the
300 or
minimum.
greater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if their stud fees advertised at 800, you have to get at least 400. I mean, it's the starting bid would be
Correct.
400. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are private treaty, so if they're private treaty, then it's just 300. So
Right.
yeah.
Correct.
And it's good for another thing is you're helping yourself because you're helping the pot, right? So
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah, that's what makes it cool too. So yeah. And then there's a lot of prestige just even placing in the top 10 in the select sire, especially the top 4. But the top 10, it's just cool. And then there's a lot of people gather around to watch that. It's another avenue to sell your babies if they do well in the futurity and to promote your stallion. So
Right. And we do pay back to the top 10, and then the stallion owners of the top 4 also get money back. So, I mean, I have those figures in front of me because I looked, but we paid over $12,000 out just to select sire placing between
okay,
the two classes, and over $3,000 was paid back to the stallion owners of those top 4 in each class.
wow,
So-
that's a good return. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. So,
Absolutely.
I'm glad I knew you would look up some stuff. I didn't even have to tell you, so I just told you ahead of time that you're going to be a guest, and I said she'll put some stuff together. So that's good.
Yeah.
So there we have it there. The board meeting is going to be at 8 a.m. I think those are backwards. We should have the futurity at 8 a.m. and the board meeting at 7 p.m. No, that'd go all night long. But so then there's the Select Sire auction is 7 that night. So again, it's at the home office. And if you haven't been at the home office, it's cool to see the boardroom and the Hall of Fame room, basically, where all the Hall of Fame inductees over the years, horses and people, are represented there. So it's just cool to see that building. I think everybody that's really is passionate about POA should go to the home office at least once in their career. So this might be a good year. You still can it's time just to drop everything and go. So. And then, like I say, the board meeting is that day, and then the banquet's the next night. So.
Right. Correct.
Right.
Yep.
We're just kind of promoting
Fun time
the
to see
convention.
the office and all the upgrades.
All the
that were
upgrades,
recently done.
yeah, and you can meet, and our new executive director will be there. That's another reason to come and see Bill. He was a guest a couple weeks ago, so we've been covering a lot of. We had the executive director, and then the president, Tommy, and now we have a worker in the office and a board of director. You think the other directors would like to come on here, and Lindsay? Now that you did, see, I think it's a challenge. I need the other directors. Meet your director, so the people from their regions can get to know them a little better on the podcast. So we'll see how that goes.
Sure.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Right.
That'd be 11. Well, let's see. Well, you and me are 2, so that'd be 10 more shows, right? Yeah, we could go into spring with that. So.
Yeah, and some of them will be coming up for re-election, or
Yeah, there you go. You just gave me an idea. The ones that are coming up for re-election, they'll have to come up here if they want to get nominated. Some of them might not want to get renominated. I'll find out how bad they want to get nominated, if they want to come on the show. So we do get, usually we get 300 to 500 views. When I had it public and I could share it to a bunch of different places like POA owners and enthusiasts and the alumni, then we'd get more views. Some of them have over 1,000, some have over 3,000 views. But like I mentioned last week, because of security reasons, I didn't want people getting hacked and stuff, so we closed the group, so I can't share it like I used to. But people still can come on. Yeah, I still think I wish I could, and we are working on getting them on YouTube. Maybe once Monica gets the sponsorships done. Of course, then it'll be time for the next year. We're looking for somebody to do that next year. No, I'm just kidding. So we got to get this year done first. So we'll see how it goes. About March, we'll see how we're doing on that. So, all right, you got any more statistics or anything? I don't want you to had looked stuff up and then you didn't get to use your information. So.
No, that pretty much. I know we had fun last year with the live bid. Tracy and Darren kind of took the bull by the horns on that, and I know we raised more last year doing it live than the sealed bids did. We raised over $9,200 the first night because of it. So,
right. Well, people getting bidding wars,
fun,
yeah, and they want it. You know what I mean? They want what they want. So, and then if somebody else is bidding on it, that's cool. So, yeah, I knew you'd raise money doing that for sure, compared to sealed bids. So, and I'll probably be there this year. So maybe I can help.
Yep.
Maybe I'll go live and do a podcast or something on a Friday night. So we'll see. So, all right, Lindsay. Well, go ahead. Finish what you're going to say.
I was going to say, if they don't get the Stallion they prefer in the BCF, then they always have the Select Sire.
Right. That's right. So
that's
February.
Being second.
Yeah, February 3rd is the one in Iowa for the BCF, and then the 16th, just almost 2 weeks later, is the Select Sire. So you got a chance you have 2 weeks to prepare to get your plans together, your game plan, if you missed it. So some of them are the same, some are different, of course, but some of the stallions are the same. There might be more horse stallions in the BCF, but a lot of cool POA stallions in the Select Sire futurity. So this thing has a great history. Like I say, it's 1982 was the first actual futurity, so they put it together before that because it's all nomination and stuff. So early 80s they started working on this, and then the first futurity was 82, and we're already going to be 24. So that's a lot of futurities, isn't it? That's for a breed to hold a big futurity that many years is pretty cool, I think. So.
Yeah.
All right, Lindsay. Well, I'll see you in 3 weeks about or so. So hopefully it's great weather in Indianapolis. What's it? Have you heard what it's supposed to be like in middle of February? Beautiful.
I haven't looked, but normally they're warmer than I am up here. So right now I'm a sheet of ice, and I know they are not down there. So
They're not down there. Okay.
hopefully it's 40 or 50 degrees, but we'll see.
I hope so. Yeah. Usually when I used to go, I had to go like 6, 7 years in a row, and it was pretty good weather. A couple times driving back home, I hit some ice, like in Wisconsin, when I was driving to Minnesota. But driving south, it should be better. So, all right, Lindsay. Well, thank you for all you do and your passion for POAs and stuff, and for getting everything ready on a short notice and plugging the National Club and the Select Sire for Charity. So everybody, please come out, either contact somebody, look up this bid form, or just come out to Indianapolis and join us. It's going to be wall-to-wall POA people at the office, hopefully. I'm going to be disappointed if we're not in there, if we're not a bunch of us in there. So I want people to come to this event. So.
Okay, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Okay, thanks a lot, Lindsay. Have a good night.
You too.
Yeah, bye. So that was Lindsay Zom from Indiana. And of course, she's a big part of the POAC as she helps out in the home office, and she is a director. Of course, she's a breeder, promoter, shower as well. So, and she's on the BCF board, and she's on the Select Sire Futurity board. Of course, as a director, she's on the International Futurity board. So I still have this up here, the 2024 National Convention. Let me get my face out of there. And as we said, if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you see the Select Sire phone-in bid form. So you can just click on that, and that's what it looks like right there. So phone-in bid form. So go check that out. If you haven't checked out the website lately, there's a lot of good stuff, good information, especially history and everything. So we move back to Facebook here. And there's our sponsor tonight, the Golden Ticket, and Terry Thorson POAs from Iowa. Check him out. If you have any questions about him, please contact Terry. He's already a winner, and he's a Palomino few spot with a great pedigree. So I think he's got a bright future. His first 4 babies will hit the ground this spring up there in Iowa. So contact Terry about those. And hopefully they get to some good homes. I know they're going to be good babies with his brood mares. So I want to thank everybody who commented tonight and watched the show. Sorry we had some technical difficulties a little bit. It never showed on my end that it went away. So on my end it was live the whole time. I guess it just didn't transmit out. So we're almost an hour into the show. I like these hour-long shows. Again, contact Monica or the home office about sponsorships. It's a big deal, sponsorships for the National Congress. So if you want to sponsor a class on the schedule, or you want to be one of the premier sponsors or an NCAP, contact her or the home office. We need to get those classes filled up. So we'll have an episode next week. I am looking for some volunteers. Lexi from Arizona had the guts to be a contestant, so come on everybody. Lexi's going to have fun and be a contestant. I've had several contestants in the past, probably about 4 or 5, so I would like another one next week for, let's see if this works. There it is. Who wants to be a POA'er? That's our trivia game, and we even have our own royalty-free music for Who Wants to Be a POA'er. So that will be next week. And if I don't get any other contestants, if nobody's got the guts to come on except Lexi, it'll just be Lexi. So you get lifelines, and I make it fun. I won't let you lose at a certain point. Once you get into the tougher questions, and to make it fun, if you get it wrong, then yeah, you're out. But the early stages, I'll help you out, help from the host, and make sure you get through it. Tailor the questions kind of towards what I think the person might know. Like there's going to be some Arizona type questions and stuff on Lexi's, and of course there was some big breeders in Arizona, so in a lot of history, early POA history from Arizona. So, all right, everybody, thank you for watching. Again, sorry for the technical difficulties. I want to thank my two guests, Charlie Phillips, president of the BCF Breeders' Challenge for Charity. And remember that event, the auction is at the casino there up in Tama, Iowa, Saturday, February the 3rd. Look for more information on Facebook or the website about that. And then the convention's coming up, our national convention at the home office in Indianapolis, Indiana. And there'll be a banquet, of course, at the hall just down the road. But the stallion auction will be at the office Friday, February 16th that night, so 7 o'clock Eastern time. So please tune in for that, or if you can make it to Indianapolis, I hope to see everybody there. So I'll see you guys next week for Who Wants to Be a Millionaire or a POA'er, and then I'll see you guys in person at the convention coming up. So, all right, everybody, thanks for tuning in. Good night. Enjoy the song.